Thank you so much, Steve. And Dr. Save, your hand was up. You can go ahead. Floor is yours.
All right. Hey everyone, how you doing? Thank you very much for this space. I love following around the NFTs for freedom. That's kind of my whole story. I'm a big proponent of, been a nerd all my life. I'm 38 years old now. And basically, I finally see we have the opportunity to finally achieve what, the engineers in the 60s had envisioned of a truly decentralized internet with no central points of authority to help control, freedom of freedom of speech, information, art, music, all that kind of stuff. And so it's really cool. Like I see we're on the path to that, but unfortunately, I also see the powers that be are very active at work, trying to prevent this revolution from happening. So I guess my personal story. I'm Jacob. Hello. Like I said, I've been in IT life. I was pretty much like a Web 1 and Web 2 expert, hundreds of Google front page rankings, tons of social media buildups, back in when Twitter came out in 2006. And then the last 5.5 years, I've just been working at Leica Studios, the movie studio, running their GPU render farm. But now that this Web3 revolution has kind of seemingly hit the singularity, I'm starting to kind of poke my head back in here. And basically, like a lot of people really liked my story and what I had to say. I started over the Thanksgiving break in Decentraland because I did happen to be a crypto investor and got in early on both Mana and Sand for the Decentraland and Sandbox metaverses. And when they blew up, I kind of just went to check on my investment and saw, much like a lot of big game releases from big game studios, there's a whole lot of hype and speculation. But when it comes to the actual nuts and bolts of supporting the gaming community, or in this case, like a collective NFT community, I see a lot of like the old guard just coming right back in and centralizing again and kind of started to speak against that and basically just started a Twitch channel just to record videos explaining to people how to like get the cheapest gas costs and how to move things around between metaverses and different blockchains and stuff like that. And because of the following I had in Decentraland, people just kept showing up to my stream. And before I know it, at the end of the year, Twitch offered me affiliate. And then, based off that information, they make you fill out all your tax information so you can split revenue with them. So based off of that, on the first day of this year, I was the only human being on planet Earth to do a 24-hour Twitch stream in Decentraland, all about Web3, metaverses, NFTs. I freestyled a lot in that, spoke about a lot of revolution type stuff, a lot of history. But anyways, it was awesome. Tons of new subscribers, followers. And then the second day of the year, halfway into my stream, it just got cut off. And I got an email from Twitch support saying I was permanently banned because my name was DrSaveYourAss and no human contact. I was not able to contact them in any way. And I mean, I know why too. They thought I was just this little, digital avatar that just started Twitter in November. So they thought they could just, flick me away like a little bug. But unfortunately for them, I reached back into my personal Twitter account. And like I'm followed by like Gary V. I know Matt Cutts from the Google Web Spam team, back in the Web 1 days. But miraculously, I start reaching out to some of these people and making some noise on Twitter. And then my account just magically gets unsuspended and my name is changed to Wordplay 100. And super weird. But anyways, in that process, basically I realized now that, both Twitter, which came out in 2006, and Twitch, which came out in 2007, these are the old guards, like the, newspaper industry or whatever. They're trying to hold on to their audiences. And so they don't want us to decentralize because, if we're legitimately allowed to speak to our audiences and then they can just follow us around wherever, that kind of, leaves their platforms without a business model. And again, I'd like to just remind people of the history. A lot of these Facebooks, Twitter, Twitch, none of these started as profitable, like sound businesses. None of them made any money. They all burned millions and sometimes billions of dollars of VC funding, and then basically settled on, okay, well, we'll just mine private user data and sell ads and that kind of stuff. So when people are telling you that, hey, this decentralized Web3 NFT thing isn't the future, just remember that these are people that like probably also said the internet wouldn't work, or social media wouldn't work, or Netflix wouldn't work. And so like basically I luckily stumbled onto a new streaming platform called Theta, which is the eighth letter in the Greek alphabet. And it sucks. Like I saw you guys were all talking about stories, but Clubhouse I think was the one talking about that, but then he left. But what's amazing to me is I got kicked off of Twitch with, the root word twit literally means like idiot or nincompoop or like just playing around. Whereas theta, is the eighth letter of the Greek alphabet and it stands for the first letter of God or theos or theology, or basically like the study of us and our narrative. um, so yeah, so basically like like right now I know I'm in like Twitter jail, shadow banned, whatever you want to call it. And they, like I said, they kicked me off of Twitch, but I can still speak my mind on this completely decentralized Web3 platform. So while I still have a voice on Twitter, at least in these spaces and stuff, I'm just trying to share a warning that like the powers that be, like they know what's up. They know their time is limited. So if you're any kind of fringe community where you're trying to break away from them, just be super careful because they're going to come.
Oh no, he got
Did
rugged.
he get rugged? That is
Okay.
sketchy. I'm so sorry. That is super
Yes,
sketchy.
it's getting very
Yo.
interesting.
Wow, yeah, that was super sketchy. Okay, I'm gonna get him back. Let's see.
Yo, this is a sign, guys.
This, I'm telling you, like every time I start talking about this, I get cut off. There's something going on, man. Uh, all right. Well, in that case, if you guys don't mind, I would just like to share something then, because maybe they're listening to me.
Well, they're listening. Yeah, they are listening. Everybody,
Right, right.
they listen. First of all, they have to listen for security purposes for themselves, but they are listening all the time.
Sure. Oh no, I think I'm getting rugged again.
No, you're good. I can hear you.
You guys don't understand. Like I've had this happen to me like live on my stream as well. It's just like statistically the odds of these things happening or should not line up. But anyways, so long story short, my story is basically I believe Web one was the Bible or a lot of narratives and like religious texts that kind of held us together as civilizations through our dark ages. Web two is basically our technology, through the Enlightenment and all that. And then Web three is now humans. We're able to use our technology, AI, machine learning, 3D printing, abundant resources, and get back to more human endeavors. And I think that's very important for these kind of algorithms or centralized places for communication. I think it needs to be back to like open human moderation, and especially now that we have the blockchain, like that can all be out in the public too for everybody to see. So it could just fix like actual voting, for instance. But we could also vote on like, it seems like a lot of people would probably vote for Steve here, for instance, if you're looking for like an authentic, good person to build up an NFT community. And you guys were kind of talking about that, about like setting up community leader spaces or whatever. And again, I think if there's some way for us as an all big community of Web3 to like publicly vote for people essentially on the blockchain for those authoritative kind of jobs or positions in the community, it's just going to be a lot more transparent and helpful to everyone versus like, oh, well, they just have a really big following. How exactly did they come about that? But yeah, and then the last thing I'll mention is the last week of February, the 21st through the 28th, I won a Theta TV streamer contest where I'm going to be their featured streamer that whole week. And so what I would like is to bring on anybody that would like to show off their NFT projects or their communities. And I think kind of like what Steve was mentioning, like I'll stream it, visually on my desktop and everything. And maybe we'll have like a Twitter Spaces or just throw y'all in Discord or something. But I would almost like to have kind of like an NFT podcast show and tell thing where I can just introduce, everybody in this, the kind of bridging from Web 2 to Web 3 space directly to an audience of people that have already kind of bought all in on Web 3 and are looking for, new projects and communities to get involved in. But yeah, I'll shut up now. And like I said, definitely appreciate the space, and I love the whole concept of the NFTs for freedom, because ultimately that's what I think this is really doing as a tech layer. It's really allowing, especially after the pandemic and stuff, humans to get back to being human and just making real connections with people. I was so excited when Twitter first came out and I could get away from all, everyone was trying to spam for Google rankings and pay for backlinks and everything. It was really nice when you could just, I like this person at the company, I just want to directly talk to another human. And I think we have that ability now again. So it's pretty cool and exciting, but scary at the same time. So thank you.
No, thank you for sharing. Yeah, definitely. And I think I love what you're doing. You are educating a lot of people, and I think probably you can have, I mean, we all need to do that in this space because it's not easy in the beginning. And I think that Twitter and all these platforms might have certain algorithm to catch like certain phrases, certain words, certain way of thinking. I'm sure they do that. And thank you for sharing. The next one, well, next person is Paper Hand Puppy, right?
Yes, yes, that's me. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, thank you so much, guys, for hosting this space. Spice World, I've seen you in a couple before, but I feel like we haven't had the chance to directly interact. So shout out to you guys for hosting this space. I do want to tell the doc to stay away from windows and sharp objects, man. It looks like the people are coming for you. Just, stay safe, brother. And
Thank you.
of course. And I myself, I'm Paperhand Poppy. I'm a community, builder for a couple different projects, but I'm an artist at heart. I make music.